Our next guest never really planned to be an entrepreneur. Joy Berry was a school teacher and very happy at that. But she became a very successful writer and producer of children's videos when she met a successful entrepreneur who changed her life. He's a 10-year-old entrepreneur.
The way I came into this whole body of information was I was teaching, and I was a very traditional teacher. I mean, I knew how to get kids to jump through hoops and do all the right things and say all the right things and so forth. And I had a kid in my program, a 10-year-old little boy who was, struggling. He was flunking school 2 years in a row. And his parents asked me to come and talk to him. And in doing so, I went to his house and discovered this tree house that spanned 3 trees. It was a 3-story tree house with running water. It had a refrigerator on the 2nd floor. He had a communication system set up to the vice president who lived in the neighborhood, and to other club members. They had this little communication system that they set up. And it was so cute because they had an elevator that went up to the 3 floors that worked by ropes and pulleys. And this kid had designed this treehouse and had employed some high school kids to build it for him for their shop project at school. And now that was just the beginning. When I went into the house to talk to this kid, I remember so distinctly him going down the hall and picking up this ledger book. In those days, they used to have these big gray ledger books with the red corners and these pages with little teeny squares, and he flipped that thing open and he started talking about credits and debits and assets. He had gotten all the children together in the community, and they formulated this thing called the Treehouse Club.
Hello, my name is Joy. It's time for another Human Race Club meeting, and you can be in on it if you want to be. All you have to do is go up into the treehouse. I'm pretty sure that things are just about ready to begin.
He had reacted to the needs in his community. For example, there were children that had to go to and from school, and they were too young to walk by themselves. And so they provided a service for the parents where they would go get those children, walk them to school, bring them back. They did things like they went over to older people's house and they ran their errands and got their mail for them or whatever, and then they billed their children. They returned books to the library and took a percentage of the fines. And what happened was all the kids in this treehouse club, what they did was they got to keep 50% of what they made, and then 50% of it went into the treehouse club fund, and Guy took that and through his father invested it, and he was showing a 10% return on his investments. And what had happened was, as I said, I was a very traditional school teacher. And as I talked to him, I says, what do you think you do well? And he said, and it was just like, he'd been so excited about telling me all the wonderful things he was doing. And when I asked him what he did well, he said nothing. And then he said, is that why you came to see me? Are you disappointed in me too? And that was the beginning of my career. I just really and truly believed in what I was doing because I saw the proof of the pudding in my children. Every day, these kids I was working with and what it was doing to their lives. And it was a real motivator.
Will the meeting please come to order?
And it all started with a 10-year-old. I think I'll invest in his next company. That's our program for today. I'm Bill Griffith. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you again next time on The American Entrepreneur.
Bill Griffith's Wardrobe by Rick Paddock, Sherman Oaks, California.